perspective. To give you a frame of reference, the antenna on top of Sears Willis Tower are about the same height as Gateway 2, this black box building on your left. That's how tall the antenna are on top of Willis Tower, about 280 feet. Earlier we were talking about the Amtrak and Metra trains underneath the building to your left. There's a whole bunch of train tracks under there that connect to Union Station. Union Station is a gorgeous great hall. It's a really high ceilinged room with these giant columns. You can walk in there if you're killing time around this area. Now all these buildings on the left that sit above those train tracks actually rent the air from the train companies. Technically, Amtrak and Metra own all the air directly above their train tracks as far as the eye can see. So these buildings pay rent to just exist in that air. It's called air rights. One of those contracts is $1 million a year for 99 years. Which sounds like a contract I would come up with when I was 10. On your right, take a look at the corners, these next two brown towers on the right. Notice how the corners are kind of jagged or serrated. Well, this is an office building, and the most popular type of office is the corner office. So they made more corners. Every floor of both these two towers has 16 corner offices, with a lovely view of the other corner office. This is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, 1983. It's a big stock trading building. They used to trade stocks using hand signals, what's called line of sight trading. Today that's all done with computers. And as you can see, they have a nice riverfront patio. The goal for the city is to make as much of the river walkable as possible. That's going to be tough to do, because a lot of our older buildings don't leave any space beside the river. That's because the way we use the river has changed over time. Today it's more recreational, tourism and dining, but back in the day we thought of the river more like a back alley for sewage and shipping, not a nice place to sit and have lunch. So, a lot of our older buildings actually have their back turned on the river. A great example of that is this next huge, polished Indiana limestone building coming up on your right. From 1929, the Civic Opera Building, another Art Deco building from the end of the Roaring 20s. This one first opened 2 weeks after the Great Stock Market crash. It's kind of shaped like a giant throne. You got your seat in the middle, the two arms of the chair on either side. The idea was to rent out those towers on either side as office space and use that money to fund the opera in the middle. This huge flat section where there's no windows, the reason there's no windows, that's the back of the stage. They have the largest stage in downtown Chicago. This is the second largest opera auditorium in America. It seats 3,600 people. Chicago has a lot of great downtown theater. We're also famous for our comedy scene. Improv was invented here. If you've ever seen shows like Whose Line Is It Anyway? And a lot of the famous comedians you know today got their start here at theaters like the Second City. You know, Bill Murray, Tina Fey, Michael Ribbons, that's me. All got their start right here. I just like throwing my name in there, it feels good. If you need recommendations for a comedy show, just ask me during a break. Tons of funny shows here in Chicago, any night of the week, although they tend to put the best ones on the weekend, so tonight would be